Boom. There we go. There's going to be a video next time, but this is a fantasy football special. I had to bring Justin back. I had so much fun chatting it up with him the other week. And we've got Jeremy also from FTN Fantasy. We are going to talk some Dynasty football, fantasy football. I got to talk about this Jalen McMillan injury and what it means for Mika Igbukwe, because now I'm really wishing I had him in my Dynasty league. We're going to talk everything we can fit in about an hour. Preseason football, a little bit of that. Everybody's got their fantasy football drafts coming up. But I am Isaac with Fun Football Podcast. Jeremy, how are you doing, dude?
I'm living. I am getting excited. It's that time of year, and getting ready to grind through those redraft drafts. Don't have too many of them. I kind of stay in my lane a little. I do some redraft for charity things. Other than that, I stay in that dynasty type of lane for most of my leagues. So most of my drafts are over. So only got one work league draft left, I think, which we do on the Thursday of the start of the league. So we got a little bit for that still, but fun time. So other than that, no, just pushing some content, started my own Substacks. I was like, yeah, why not right now? Make it the busiest season of the year. Let's start something new. Why not? So we're at it,
I saw that, man. That was slick. I was reading a lot of your articles today. It was a lot of fun. How many leagues are you in, by the way?
Too many. 20 plus, and most of them are dynasty leagues. So that tells you. And I have a 2-year-old. So I don't know what I was thinking, but signed up for all those prior to her. So,
No, I get it. I'm in 5 this year, and I actually still have like 4 drafts. Only my one dynasty was done. So, but I'm being Justin, how are you doing, dude? Thanks for coming back, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the hat, dude. I like the hat. That looks good.
Yeah, I know. It's a great hat, isn't it? Trying to
hide
hat, my bald head. Mistake. Great clips. I'm watching you. Great clips. You're on notice. This is a review right for you. But yeah, I'm happy to be back, man. It was so fun the first time. I'm just I'm a little disappointed Med isn't here, but you know what? I can't have everything. I got Isaac, I got Jeremy, I got Med can come on next time for sure.
I'm gonna text him and be like, Justin said he's sad you're not here. I'm gonna text him
right
now.
Do.
I'm doing
it. Do. And then send his number on over so I can text him too. Be like, hey, where the hell are you? Come on.
Justin enjoys his shiny head from That Sports Podcast Network. Can you guys really quick, before we get going into all this Dynasty fantasy football, I want to talk a little bit of PPR. I'm like Jeremy, man. I just started the Dynasty thing last year, and I'm in 2 of them, and it's work, but it's fun. I didn't do it last time. I want to throw you guys my Dynasty team and grade it on the air a little later. God. Yeah. Oh, I made some trades. I did the all-in philosophy. My dad he had 4 picks in the top 10, and I went the opposite route. We'll do it in a second. But before we do it, Jeremy, can you tell everybody where to find you, the content you create for FTN, where all your stuff is before we get going?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to get all of it is Pope's FFH on Twitter, Blue Sky. Those are the 2 that I'm kind of on. Kind of tweet links there as much as possible, but the content itself is housed at FTN for college football scouting reports, stuff like that, rankings, all that stuff's over at FTN. Like I mentioned, I did start Substack. It's called Beyond the Chalk. That's going to be kind of have some stuff in there throughout the season as well. Probably do some start-sit stuff, etc. The start-sit show same as last year over on FTN. So that will be a lot of fun as well. So I'll be there for you Sunday morning to make those tough lineup decisions. And Isaac, as you said, dynasty leagues, those get tough because, you're starting wide receiver 4s and 5s, and sometimes it's a lot of fun. So feel free to join.
I got Golden as one of my flexes right now. We'll get into it in a minute, but yeah, man, I'm going to be tossing. I do some fantasy posts, but I'm going to be dropping some more fantasy content this year because I'm loving it. All right, Justin.
Oh boy,
yeah, can everybody find you? Yeah, the JJ is gonna. I'm a teacher, and I'm trying to remember like 100 kids' names right now, and I've got about 20. That's how bad I am. It's a weekend. My brain is mush from trying to get sleep and remember kids' names. I'm a weekend. I'm tired teacher brain. This is a good one. What's in our minds tonight? I got a favorite topic to get into tonight, or favorite player. Oh, we are going to. we're going to we've got some stuff for you. I got to ask them about Emeka Egbuka, but Justin, really quick before we get into that, where can everybody find you and all of your content?
Oh yeah, so you can find me at FTN as well. I do the charting side of it. So Jeremy puts all the stuff together, and I just nerd out and I get all the little details and stuff like that.
One of the best parts, though, the Stats Hub. You gotta check it out, and you're one of the main proponents. So,
I love it. It made me look at film so much differently. I was telling Isaac last time, like being a charter makes you change the game completely because you just constantly are looking at the little ins and outs, and you're going, oh, okay. So this is what makes dynamic receivers. This is what makes, and then you look at like scouting reports and you look at college tape afterwards, and you go, okay, this guy looks like he's gonna hit. This guy, you feel more confident and assertive in what you're looking at. So no, I love that end of it. And then my real hobby and my real fun is going on that sports podcast network, TSS Fantasy. It stands for the shit show, and it is every Sunday at 8 a.m. We take your ass to church. We do betting. We do everything that you need for your fantasy football mornings. And, we're just 4 or 5 guys, depending on if Fred wants to show up, and just have fun and, talk a lot of shit. So it's great. It's great.
Justin equals fantasy.
Take you to church.
I like it. All right. Both. So have you guys ever been on a show together before?
Not that I can remember. Maybe at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done plenty to not know.
No, you're good, man. Okay. So I want to get into our teams. This guy is on my fantasy team. I'm going to do that a little later. I got to start because the Jalen McMillan thing was fascinating to me today. If you guys are cool with it, I actually had him and I traded him before the injury. It was a few weeks ago. What do you think this means for Emeka Egbuka and Mike Evans and the rest of that receiving core in Tampa? Do you think McMillan's only going to miss the 4 games, or do you think it could be a season-long injury? I've got some thoughts on it, but Justin, I'm going to go back and forth on this one. Since you were on last time, you'll go first next. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on this really quick? Oh, he was.
Yeah, so Jalen McMillan and
back in the day.
Oh, was I? I probably was.
I was going to say
it sounds familiar, but
I
feel like I was, but I don't remember.
You're good, man. No worries.
My life's a blur, much like your teacher brain. Mine's, fantasy blur.
It's mush right now. And all the fantasy.
I couldn't even tell you what I did last week. So, but yes, Jalen McMillan, I like the player. The injury is concerning. We've seen these neck injuries kind of like linger for certain other players in the past, not always at the receiver position per se. But I believe, Zach Moss, I think AJ Dillon's was a neck last year as well, or 2 years ago. We've kind of seen some of these where they kind of linger to it turning into kind of a season long type of thing. It's not, let's be real, in real life, it's not an injury you want to mess with. So I think they'll probably take their time. They don't need Jalen McMillan per se. He is a great piece to have, but he's not necessarily a need with Mike Evans still there and healthy at the moment. And you mentioned Emeka Egbuka. You still got some other guys on that roster as well. I know Raheem Jarrett's buried in there, Trey Palmer. Like there's some guys they brought in Tez Johnson. Like they have a pretty, it's not stellar, but names and productive names at the NFL level enough to kind of move that offense, as well as Rashad White, Bucky Irving, etc. So I think as far as the relation to Emeka Egbuka, I don't know if it's a ton. Egbuka, I feel like really they're going to kind of key him into that Godwin role and kind of a slot guy. I don't think he forecasts too much as a perimeter guy, which is where Jalen McMillan probably is going to be for that offense. So see maybe a couple more targets per game. I think Evans gets a couple more. You may see Kate Odd, you may see Rashad White or Bucky Irving. It's going to get dispersed. But yeah, I mean, I'm concerned. I'd probably stay away in redraft. Dynasty, I mean, you're not making a move. Like he's just going to be at the back of your roster now, which he probably was in most leagues because he probably was a rookie. So
Justin asked a good question. I have him on some dynasty rosters. How do you recommend to proceed within the season? Maybe IR and try to acquire. If you can get Egbuka, good on you in dynasty, because I mean, dude, he was the number 6 pick in my rookie draft. And he looks pretty stellar. I really think he has a chance to be the best receiver in this class over even Tet. Hunter's just such a wild card. But that's my take. Tess Johnson is a waiver ad. If you're already done your redraft league, I think is a slick move. If you can get Ibuka in a redraft league, then I question the people in that league. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably stay away from just about anybody other than Ibuka, Mike Evans, and maybe some Cade Otton, because Cade Otton saw an elevated target share when Godwin went out the first time. So I'd probably just stick with that, and I think Rachaad White becomes more of a buy type of guy right now, because obviously they're going to be looking to utilize all the weapons they have there, and he's very much a weapon in the passing game. So, while Bucky is going to be the dynamic running back, I think he has the option to be kind of like that guy who comes in, maybe plays that, as they say, James White role, and catches a good amount of passes out of the backfield.
I'd be really interested if that was what happened. I like that take because I could see Rachaad White benefiting from it. I'm just curious how long he's going to be injured. Okay. There was one other little source of news. Did you guys we don't have to spend that long on it, but it's kind of intriguing. I think it was today. What do you guys make of the Anthony Richardson benching? Do you think he gets another chance this season? Do you think they kind of start Daniel Jones for a few games and it's kind of like Justin Fields last year and he gets benched if they're 2-4, they're not doing well, they just sit him for the first month and then they bring him back in? What do you make of that news? Justin, what are you thinking?
I mean, I think he just needs a new area. He needs new scenery. I think the Colts need to get rid of Chris Ballard. I think he's kind of wasted a good offense at this point. He's got 3 good wide receivers, a monster at tight end, and a monster at running back, and this team still can't make the playoffs. And I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year, to be honest with you, Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. So, for me, I look at it like it's probably at this point, because it's only Daniel Jones, probably something that they're going to just kind of cycle these guys back and forth, kind of like what they did with Fitz and Tua's first year. But I think he just kind of needs a reset somewhere else. He probably just needs to go somewhere where, he can actually learn behind a quarterback guru.
I'm curious if he's going to be able to develop into a strong enough passer, because he's been pretty inaccurate. I'm just curious. I do blame Ballard as well. I'm curious if Richardson's going to be able to rebound and have an NFL career. Jeremy, what do you think?
I think if they're smart, they go back to him at some point. And really, I mean, there's one of two ways to look at it. Either they want to try to give the Bryce Young effect, where he sits behind somebody and comes in and is a changed player,
is inspired,
or
motivated.
B, they're just done. Like, if they're just done, they're just done. Like, he has struggled to stay on the field. I actually literally just wrote this up, him as a sleeper this year, because if he does get the job, like, there's that chance. But the stuff doesn't necessarily favor that. Like, he had a 47.7% completion percentage last year, which was dead last. Daniel Jones was at least significantly better at 63. So you're looking at a guy that still hasn't really progressed as a passer. Does he have a deep ball? Can he put some highlight reel throws on tape? For sure. Is he a gunslinger? For sure. Is he dynamic in the run game? Sure. But until, like you kind of said, until he develops that consistency as a passer, he's not going to be a consistent NFL quarterback. You've seen it with Justin Fields. You've seen it with some of these other guys, Trey Lance, like that era of those players, and the NFL swings on them because, yes, if they hit, you get Josh Allen, you get Lamar Jackson, you get Jaden Daniels. Like, that's what you get if you hit. But the issue is if you can get there. And I feel like Richardson's not necessarily on him. I think he could potentially develop at some point. The issue is he's just been healthy. He's only played 15 games in 2 years. Like, you're not going to develop without being on the field. So it's either A, they're just over it and they're frustrated and they're done and they're going to kind of ride Daniel Jones into the sunset, draft someone next year, or they're going to give him a second, see how it goes. If Jones is absolutely atrocious, maybe they turn back to him at some point. I don't think they'll trade him. I think they're too invested, but yeah, I think so. I'm in on it. I think, like, I mean, he's worth it if he's cheap in a dynasty league and it's super flex. Like,
oh yeah, my dad's got him.
I'd throw a dart at it. You know what I mean? But, like,
he's in his doghouse.
I'm not having too high hopes, So
That's where I'm at. I mean, here's the concerns I have. He's started less than 30 games between college and the NFL. That's just not enough time to see what you got. But he also hasn't eclipsed 60% completion in a season in college or the NFL. That's really concerning. I like their mobility. I mean, he's extremely athletic. He's on the short list of most athletic quarterbacks in the NFL. But what made Josh Allen and even Lamar Jackson special was they developed as passers. You got to see that growth. Even Justin Fields, I mean, he wasn't like a game breaker last year, but at least started resembling an NFL QB in Pittsburgh. I would like to see a little more time with him. I don't think you're ever going to get a Josh Allen, but Josh Allens don't grow on trees. They just don't. Like, the dude is one of a kind. You know, you're a Bills fan. I traded for him in Dynasty, and I'm going to be rolling with him this season. I traded, okay, I don't want to get the full team, but I traded Jalen Hurts, a 2026 second, and a 2025 this year fourth, and Jalen Hurts for Josh Allen straight up. Because I think Josh Allen is just number 1 or 2 every single year. And even though I like Hurts, Allen's floor is the number 2 QB in fantasy over the last 6 seasons. So how can you not?
And he's only getting better. So
I agree.
He's just getting more weapons now.
Okay.
Just waiting to see what Keon Coleman does this year.
Ooh, Keon Coleman develops, and then you've got Shakir. And if Kincaid can catch the ball, you just brought James Cook back. Let's do it. I was going to ask Buffalo anyways. Who would be Josh Allen's a very easy choice? How are you feeling about the rest of your team? Who would be the guys you'd be targeting offensively on your roster? And like, where do you like their draft position? If you want me to like go through player, like we could start with James Cook or.
I like all of them. I mean, I do. I think that it's a fairly target-centric type of offense in a way. Receivers not super straight in.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Gabe Davis go back.
The nice thing that Davis would bring is the blocking side of it, a little bit of physicality. Like, he's kind of another grade of Mac House. He's like Josh Palmer's replacement, kind of like a backup in that type of territory. That's what Palmer's role is. But the issue that I have is, like, I think I'm in on everybody just based on their value at the moment. Like, nobody really wants to take the shot on any of these receivers. Even Dalton Kincaid, there's bitter taste. Like, people are over it a little. The value's all there. I mean, I think James Cook, you're kind of at ceiling prices at the moment. You know, he's floating around RB1 territory, and he's not going to probably score 18 touchdowns again. I wouldn't bet on it. So he's going to see a little bit more work maybe, but he's probably a 1,200, 1,300 yard guy, 10 touchdowns. Like, he's probably a low end. He's about where he's probably going. It's probably where he'll finish, year end said. Same thing with Josh. You're paying premium price, but you know what you're getting with Josh. So, like, it's not the end of the world. And then the receivers, I kind of like where they're all going. You know, I kind of just play it when I'm doing drafts, especially in redraft. Like, if I'm in a spot where I don't like anybody and Shakir's on the board, I take him and then avoid the rest. Like, I'm not going to triple down on the receivers. And Dynasty, I have some that are pretty loaded because of when you were able to get these guys. Like, you kind of have developed them along the path. But if I was in a startup, like, I would kind of just key in on one and then just kind of stay there. I don't mind going with a wide receiver and a tight end, or say Josh and then Josh and the receivers is fine, but in Dynasty, like, I don't necessarily want like all of them, but I would be
was
fine
the same boat
like
with Philly.
2 of them. Like, if I go James Cook and Kincaid, I'm fine with it, or James Cook and Coleman, or like I have Coleman and Kincaid, like, I'm fine with that. Again, I don't want to overprice because in Dynasty, I don't want to like have a complete plethora of a team. You know, you kind of go based on the value, and sometimes in rookie drafts, you start to get that, but yeah, I'm fine with pretty much all of them, honestly. They're all very relatively priced for what they could bring. The big guy I've been going after is Coleman, though. I really think that breakout's coming.
In Dynasty, I like that pickup,
I
too.
think, like, even in redraft where he is, he's pretty affordable. Like, Shakir's fine. You know what you're getting, though. He is what he is. He's like a wide receiver 3. He's going to have boom weeks. Like, it is what it is. Very good, kind of Jacoby Myers-esque player, where Keon Coleman could literally be, like, a top 15 guy if he takes the steps. Like, they want him to be the guy. You know, he was second last year on snaps amongst the team. He was the top player as far as his targets being first reads. Like, they were trying to force it to him. They want him to be the guy. You're seeing the clips in Hard Knocks. You're seeing the clips in training camp. Like, He hasn't played a ton in the preseason because like they kind of know what they have. And I think they're ready to unleash it a little. So hopefully that connection's there with him and Josh, and he's kind of the new weapon. But yeah.
Oh, I like it. No, that was a good detailed Bills take. I actually, that's one of the reasons, the Philly thing, I traded for Saquon and I already had AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, and I got out of Jalen Hurts for Josh Allen, but I flipped AJ Brown and I gave up another second this year. I think I did the same type of trade. It was AJ Brown, a second and a fifth, I think, for BTJ. But I'm okay with it because even if AJ Brown exceeds Brian Thomas Jr. this year, BTJ was the number 4 receiver in PPR last year. So yeah, I'll keep like
an interesting one.
He is because of Travis Hunter, case. But he was quarterback proof last year with Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence. If you can succeed with Mac Jones throwing you passes, I have a lot of faith, kind of like Malik Neighbors. I am concerned what Travis Hunter is going to do to him, but there's a chance if Lawrence can just get his head on straight, you could have not a Cincinnati type scenario, but some offenses can handle the volume for 2 receivers. I don't know if Jacksonville's that offense. We're going to find out. There's a chance BTJ doesn't have the season he had last year. I still think the talent's there. The offense just sucks. That's my take on it. Like I also think Travis Hunter, me and Justin talked about it last show. I need to see the guy develop into a full receiver. Like my dad took him number 2. I think in IDP, it's a genius move to take the guy, but I want to see if he can commit to full-time playing receiver and learn the nuances of the position because he's got the athleticism and you saw on tape flashes of that potential. I want to see if he can refine some stuff. A lot of rookies have that same problem. I just want to see. That was the one player I didn't read for you today. At work, I read 7 of your profiles, Jeremy. I didn't get to Travis Hunter. Before, do you want to just go into? We had a Bills question we could hit really quick here.
Sure.
What'd you think of Ray Davis? And I got to get to Justin too.
That's a good.
The other Justin.
I like Ray Davis. I think he's up. So the thing with Ray Davis, I would call him as a premium handcuff. Like so you have. When you're handcuffing players, you have to really find true handcuffs. Like.
Not the quasi one, like the Philly
correct.
Guy.
Like so, for example, we'll even say Washington.
What's his name?
Because
Chipley.
Because Bill there is very hot and heavy in the streets at the moment. Like when Robinson is gone, we don't know what that backfield's going to look like. I don't think it's going to be just Bill. It's going to be Eckler. It's going to be Bill. It's going to be Chris Rodriguez. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be like I can tell you right now. I'm pretty confident that would be the way I lean. Do I think he's a terrible asset? No. But when you look at some of the premium handcuffs, you get your guys like Tyler Algier. In the past, you've had Nick Chubb with Kareem Hunt. Like you had guys who were legit backups that basically handle 80% of the workload. That's Ray Davis. Like Ty Johnson will work in, but Ty Johnson works in as is now with the ones. So like Ray Davis is one of those guys that will handle the work. We've seen it against the Jets when Cook missed last year. Like he will be the guy. He will see the significant touches, and it's a run game that this is what the offense is built on. Josh isn't throwing as much anymore. Like, and it's not going to change a ton this year. You may see an uptake if the receivers take a step, but it's still going to be based off of the run, the play action, etc. So, yeah, I'm in on Ray Davis in both categories, unless the price is absurd. Again, it falls into where you're at with the new contract. Price in Dynasty, you might actually be a solid player to try to get, but price is relative to the league and the managers that roster those players. So
and redraft, if it's a PPR league redraft, you might occasionally have a flex guy, maybe some weeks. The Bills offense is so good. Some weeks, I mean, if they're a top 5 offense, then you're going to have weeks where a guy like a Ray Davis and the 4th receiver on the team occasionally are flex play. But like you said, if Cook's out, then Ray Davis's value goes up significantly.
If they play the Giants, then you put them in there for the 4th quarter touchdowns.
I think you mean the Bengals, who anybody can run on.
The Giants are interesting because I think their D line is going to be good, and Malik Neighbors, and that's it. That secondary is going to be.
Bill's secondary is not much better. Let's be honest.
Hey, my secondary is going to be interesting too.
They just got torched. 5.1 million people watched them. So
The Bills secondary spend way too much time at the hospital. That's what it is. I'm not even talking about Damar Hamlin. I'm just talking about injuries, period.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call the guy out, but there was a guy on Instagram. I don't like to do this. I'm not going to call his name out. So if he's watching, I'm sorry. I think your content's amusing, but he was talking about how Ben Johnson was doing coach of the year stuff in the preseason game against the Bills. And I was like, wait, stop yourself right there. And I'm a Packers fan, but it's a preseason game. Preseason only matters so much.
You know, you've made it to a point. The Bills, now that's what they get when someone beats them. That's bad. Like, it's a good thing as a fan. Like, that's
the Bears win.
People get
the Bears best win for a while.
The Bears are bad. Like, we used to do that as Bills fans when, like, in the 17 years of dismantling, we'd beat the Patriots in the preseason. We'd be like, "You're done," and go up in one game. You know,
like 2 years ago, the Raiders kicked the 49ers ass, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the Raiders' year. Jimmy Garoppolo's back."
Yeah,
and it's just like, yeah, no, Jimmy G was never here to begin with.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is great. I'm enjoying this so much. Okay, Justin, I'm going to go to you and then Jeremy on this one, even though it's a Bills question. Just to be fair, we've got another one too. We're getting a lot of questions. A lot of people are watching too. I appreciate it. We're almost to 220. Thanks, guys. Bears are for this is how I feel as a Packers fan. Bears are forever the offseason champs. I completely agree. And it's still offseason. It's preseason. Ray Davis over Tank Bigsby. Let's go Justin, then Jeremy on this one.
You know, I like Ray Davis, but I think I'd take Tank over this just because he's not really a handcuff. I think it's going to be more of a 50-50 split between Tank and ETN than it is going to be between Ray and James. And I think that Tank might end up being more or less the first and second down type of guy, and ETN comes in to take a lot of the third down work because he's more equipped receiving back. But yeah, I think I'll take Tank on this one. I like Ray Davis. I think he is a premium backup because of the fact that he is the guy that last year he had, I think, like 6-7 touchdowns. So he was in there a lot, and this offense relies a lot on its run game. But I think just because the fact I think that it's going to be 50-50 with Bigsby and ETN, I'll take him.
I'm a little worried about Tootin. My dad, I knew he was going to bring him up. He scouts rookies like crazy. I'm wondering if Brayshaw Tootin will get any touches.
I thought Brayshaw Tootin was trash at Virginia Tech, to be honest. I don't know why everybody got big on him. I thought he was trash. Oh, Jeremy might know more than I do. I only watched some of his videos and some of the games, but I was not really impressed by him at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, he's got some issues. He's an inconsistent runner. The upside's really exciting. Big-bodied, explosive runner. It's there. He just needs to be developed still. Little bit raw as far as a running back prospect goes. He'll see touches. Like, he's going to get some touches in that backfield for sure. This coaching staff selected him. But
heard.
The main issue with Tutton is fumbles. He's going to have to clean that up. And that's not going to fly at the NFL level. We've seen that. So as long as he can do that, he'll be fine to see some touches. But I think 2025, as far as you're looking here, I have a lot of Tutton. He was pretty cheap as far as Dynasty rookie drafts went. So I have invested in him just because it was cheap, and I have a lot of Tank Bigsby. So I wanted to kind of secure myself into, in case he does take the job, at least in Dynasty, that I had that player. So I think it's still Bigsby's backfield in 2025. I think he'll be the guy that you kind of want.
I agree.
I think ETN. The tough thing with ETN is if it's like PPR, like ETN's got some value because he's going to see the passing work. But I do think that you're looking at it. It's kind of ETN's going to be Rachaad White and Bigsby's going to be Bucky Irving. That's what it's going to be in this offense. If you want to compare it to what it was when he was in when Cohen was at Tampa Bay. So I think that's the play. At least from where I'm at, I think Tutton will get his touches. I think Tutton's year will be next year if they decide to move on from Bigsby and or ETN. So we'll see how that breaks down. But much like Justin alludes to here, LaQuint Allen's kind of the pass catcher. He's kind of like ETN's handcuff in a way. Tootin feels a little bit like Bigsby's handcuff. Tootin wasn't really a pass catcher at Virginia Tech, so Allen's a little bit more of that coming out of Syracuse. So I feel like Allen was added on a basis of like, interesting, good pass catcher, could be ETN's kind of fill in if they lose ETN, and Tootin is in there for Bigsby. Kind of feels like that's when you break down those handcuffs where they'd be.
Yeah, it's crazy that ETN kind of lost the job. He had 1,000 yards.
I don't think it's crazy.
No, I guess not. You're right, because after that rookie season where he was injured, he had a pretty solid 2022 and then just fell off. Just
to be fair, if you watched his tape at what was it, Clemson, you really kind of wonder how he was a first round pick anyways, other than the fact that he was incredibly fast and explosive. You're just like, he didn't really read holes very well.
That's true.
Very good.
And it was the same at Jacksonville. The only reason he had that stellar year was, again, much like James Cook last year, he scored like a buco amount of touchdowns. That's what it was. And Bigsby just fell on his face in the preseason and killed himself as far as getting on the field. And then you finally saw him get on the field and you see the difference between a good runner and a bad runner. And that's why Bigsby gets the rushing touches.
No, that's a good way to look at it, because ETN looked awesome that first year, and then that's a good point. I think you guys are right. I think it's probably Bigsby's backfield. I'm curious what share he's going to get. This guy, he asked it a couple times. Does he go with in a PPR flex, Rashee Rice, DJ Moore, Debo, or Tony Pollard? For me, yeah, I'm going DJ Moore there. And I mean, early on, you might be good with Rice, but if he gets suspended after 4-6 games, then you're going to need somebody else. I don't love that, even though you might have him for a few games. He's probably going to be out to the fantasy playoffs. I'm not a big believer in Debo. I know the Scary Terry contract thing may give him more touches, and the Washington running back. I just didn't see it last year, so I'd go DJ Moore than Pollard. Justin, you disagree?
No. I totally agree with you. I shake my head because I'm a 49ers fan, and I was so happy when Deebo Samuel left. That dude has just he hasn't been right since 2021. But I would actually take Rice. I agree with you guys, DJ Moore, the suspension looming, but Rice to me has like that ability to be like a top 5 receiver if he gets on the field for a long amount of time. Like if he misses 4 games, I could still see him being like a top 20 guy with those numbers, because he was just going insane last year, especially in PPR. He was just going off the chart, and he's been having nothing but a great camp. So I still firmly believer there. And then you got DJ Moore's kind of cluttered. I mean, Burden's starting to stand out now. And then you got Roma Dunze, and it's just Colson Loveland's there. Somehow Cole Kmet's still going to steal touchdowns from somebody. Like, there's just a lot going on there. I don't know if I would bank on one guy really being a standout.
He's got a hot take on Cook too. He thinks Cook's going to regress we talked about it, from the touchdowns. He doesn't think he's going to get as many TDs.
I would agree, though. Rice is close. Like, it's DJ Moore or Rice. The only reason I'd say DJ Moore is just because. So when I build a lineup, especially in redraft, like, I want risk adverse in the basis of like, I want availability. If I have 2 players next to each other that have equal upside, like DJ Moore is top 5 upside. Like in that offense, if it clicks in Ben Johnson's offense, like, and he's the guy. Like if he's there, Amon-Ra St. Brown, like that's a potential top 5 guy. Like it is.
I got a question.
There we go, Dad. Did you hear that? He's all big on Luther Burden, and he thinks Roma Dunze is going to be the number 1. And I was like, I want to see that first. DJ Moore's only 28.
But I feel like DJ Moore's more equipped to be Amon-Ra St. Brown than Roma Dunze. Odunze feels a little bit like the field stretchery Jamison Williams type potentially in that offense. I think Burden will be the thing. But I think Burden's 2026. Like, he's going to get touches this year. He's going to have some games for sure. But it's a 2026 thing with Luther Burden. But I do think Rice has that same upside that we talked about. It's just the suspension scares me, because when's it come? If it comes, like if it doesn't come, sure. But DJ Moore, again, similar upside, ascending offense. Like, I'll take that risk out of potentially having a suspension, like you said, in the playoffs, for a guy that I know I will have outside of an injury, which everybody.
This is so much fun. We're only a little over 2 weeks away from the season. I'm loving this. Like, my blood's starting to like, let's go, baby. I got.
Once
I've been doing this for 2 years. I got Sunday ticket this year. I'm gonna have the forward. I didn't have it.
There you go.
So I got a question for you guys, real quick.
Never had Sunday ticket actually.
Oh,
you've never had Sunday ticket.
I roll red zone.
You're saving money.
Content, man. I'm shocked.
I have
you had like I was reading articles today, man.
I have I pay for like the NFL subscription, so then I just go back and watch like the all 22 and stuff. But I watch Red Zone mostly on Sundays at least.
And I think
helps to keep up with it.
There's a good chance that DJ Moore does. He was like, I think he was 8th last year, 2 years ago. It was either 8th or 6th, and then I think he was 16th or 18th last year. He was still a strong receiver 2 last year. I know they brought in Colson Loveland. I know they've got a lot of competition, but here's the thing. Unless DJ Moore gets in the backfield, Swift was just okay. It's going to come down to if Caleb has it, we're going to find out, and the protection of that Bears offensive line. If there's enough time for Caleb to process the field, and if he's capable of processing the field. Ben Johnson's offense is pretty complex. I'm expecting Caleb to have a stronger finish to the season than a start because it's a whole new system again. That's just my thought on it. But I don't know what you guys think. There's so many young pieces on that team. I don't think I think there's a chance he finishes top 12, but it's going to be based on a strong finish. Like I have them winning 4 of their last 5 games, and the schedule gets easier down the stretch. If he comes out guns blazing, though, I think Jeremy's thinking he might, and a lot of people do. If he comes out guns blazing with Ben Johnson, this is going to be very interesting because when you take the total package of weapons, who has them beat? Minnesota, maybe. I like Ty Felton, but
looks good too. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
As soon as they get Caleb to click, it'll be and that's going to be a tough division for all of them.
Justin, what was your question?
It's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, I got a question for you guys. So, Rice is going kind of in the round 5 region because of all the suspension rumors and stuff like that. It's kind of pushing him back. So, say you guys have just a standard league.
Okay.
2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 tight end, yada, 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 right? 1 flex. Mm-hmm. Say you've got your wide receivers, your 2 wide receivers covered, your 2 running backs covered, or maybe a running back and a flex covered.
Okay.
You feel better going with Rashee Rice, knowing that you don't have to start him if you don't need to, or DJ Moore? What would you go there? Because would you go with the almost unlimited upside of Rashee Rice, or would you go with the assuredness that you're going to have him week 1, DJ Moore?
I'm going Moore because I think Rice is going to end up getting suspended for 6 games. Now, I don't mind stashes for the playoff run. But the problem is this guy, there's a chance he gets suspended week 7 until 13. So you have him for 6 games and then you don't have him to the playoffs. And I don't mind stashes injury wise. This isn't an injury stash. I don't hate it, but because I know Moore's likely to play the whole season, the dude just doesn't miss a lot of games. I'm going to go Moore because of availability. It's like what Jeremy said earlier. There's more risk with even though I like the upside of Rice when he's been healthy, but he's coming off an injury. He barely played last year at all. I just like what I've seen from DJ Moore, and I think that if Caleb improves, I think the sky is the limit for DJ Moore. I think there's a good chance he finishes a top 10 receiver this year if Caleb is what everybody thinks he has the potential to be.
What about you, Jeremy?
Here's my Galaxy Brain question or answer. You ready for this? This is a pro tip right here. Ready? So I would go DJ Moore because in a league that size, you probably have a shallow bench. 4 or 5 spots. Yeah. The manager who rosters Rashee Rice will likely have to drop him if he gets a 4 or 6 game suspension. Mm-hmm. And then you just pick him up on waivers 2 weeks before he has to come back on. And then there you go. You got the upside and you have DJ Moore.
Because people will actually cut him in leagues where they're not.
It'll happen. Not necessarily everyone. It might not happen in your league, but I guarantee you, if that team that has Rashee Rice, say, has the first 5 games, he's probably, if the rest of the team is drafted well, a contender, probably a playoff team, probably fighting for a playoff spot potentially, and they're going to have to probably drop him for a player at some point when the bye weeks start to hit, and then that's when you can, if your team is also good and you're well ahead, you're a 1 or 2, and you don't need to stack wins down the stretch necessarily. That's when you can kind of and take your risk of, hey, okay, I want to drop, maybe someone you drafted didn't pan out or something, and you can just stack them on there because, like you said, Justin, your starting lineup's pretty filled, right. And then you have that for that push if he's back. That'd be the way I'd go.
I love talking fantasy.
They just got to collect those L's, baby. Collect those L's and drop those guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Drop those W's.
Josh Allen or Derrick Henry, if you had one keeper, I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. Do you keep Josh Allen or Derrick Henry? That's tough. I think
take Josh Allen.
I think Allen.
Allen's the top quarterback in position.
Not just to suck up to Jeremy, but
you have one of the top players at a position. Like, you just keep that player.
Well, and even if Derrick Henry continues to defy the odds here, and he's just ungodly good for another 3 or 4 years and defies age, the chances are, even the way Allen plays, how physical he is, he's going to last longer than Henry.
Yeah, and that's keepers usually every other year, but like, you have the top quarterback, so why not keep him? Like, Henry's up there, but like, he's not the top running back. Like, he's probably 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Like, all said and done this year. So like,
Allen for
take
me.
The top player.
Pro tip: my dad's loving this. I bet he wants to hop on. He's just having a great time. Redraft is a great strategy. He watches shows like this, so I'm like, all right, Dad, I'm going to do more Dynasty content for you. We got another one. Grade this trade, and then I got some trades for you guys. I've got more stuff, but this has just been so much fun. Okay, grade this trade. Eagles fan sent me this trade, and I accepted. He was busy during the day. He sent me Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard. I sent him Jalen Hurts. Wait, is that it? Ouch. Wait, he gave you Allen, Lamb, and Pollard for Jalen Hurts? Can you clarify that for us, Trey? Because, bro, if that's it, wow. Do you think he means Josh Allen and CeeDee Lamb for Tony Pollard and Hurts? Do you think that's what he means? That's not the way it reads. That's not the way I'm reading it.
No, that just sounds like that guy really. That sounds like that guy really wanted Jalen Hurts. That's what that
sounds like an Eagles fan right there. Yeah.
Hey,
they're rationally doing things to get what they want. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Round space. Oh, wait. Okay, wait.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That's closer.
I missed it. So Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, and Tony Pollard for Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, and Derrick Henry.
I was gonna say that was highway robbery. I'm surprised that one even went through on the league.
If you have any Eagles fans on here, shout out. I just called you guys irrational.
That was a stray. That was a straight up stray.
I missed it. I missed the second message. My bad. Okay.
But yes, I like the I do probably the Allen Lamb side.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I think you really have two QB, like two top players, like two potential top finishers at their position.
Yeah, Lamb.
I don't know if Lamb gets there. Like he's, but he has that. I mean, Henry, I guess, kind of does, but like
freaking Eagles fans. I missed it. My bad. Okay. Now that we're talking trades, grade my trades. I gave you guys 2 of them. Okay, I'm going to give you guys my Dynasty team. I want to know what you think. I went all in, and then if my dad, he'd probably love a grade of his team. I agree. I like the Allen and Lamb part. Okay, here's my squad. It's an IDP league. We're 1 year in. I made a lot of trades this offseason. I ended up getting the number 1 pick. And then my dad gave me, oh my gosh, he gave me the number 5 pick overall in Jonathan Taylor and Devonta Adams, who I ended up trading away. This is wild. I made like 6 consecutive trades. Jeremy's, I'm sure, seen this in Dynasty. My team now, I'm pulling it up so I don't get the whole thing, but this was pretty fun. I usually don't do this, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. So let me get it. Come on. So my dad, I ended up giving up a haul for the number 1 pick overall. Then he gave me the number 5 pick, Jonathan Taylor and Devonta Adams, and I flipped Adams for something later on. And let's get it. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I flipped the 5 pick for Saquon. Now my team is Josh Allen, Saquon, Jonathan Taylor. It's a 2 running back, 2 receiver, double flex, PPR, IDP league. Okay. So Josh Allen, Saquon, Taylor, BTJ, Scary Terry, which is a little scary. I made that trade on trade day, thinking there was a chance he'd hold out. Our draft was back in late July. I have DJ Moore. And then Matthew Golden starting my final flex spot with TJ Hawkinson at tight end. My dad even gave me the best grade in the league. I have Aaron Jones on my bench. I just flipped Jalen McMillan for Aaron Jones almost straight up, which now I'm really loving because McMillan just got hurt. So Aaron Jones is my 3rd running back. So running back, I've got Taylor, Barkley, and Aaron Jones. I'm a little thin. I don't have much after that. Ramondre Stevenson's my 4th, and it looks like there's a good chance that my dad's guy, Travion Henderson, takes the job. But I think for a team, even though in Dynasty, I think I only have one pick next year, 4th pick overall, the 4th round. We do 6 rounds. So I kind of sold out my team, gave up next year's picks. I only had 3 picks in this draft, but I'm lacking a little depth. I've got Van Ginkel at defensive lineman, Fred Warner at linebacker, Antoine Winfield at DB, Chase McLaughlin at kicker. On my bench, I've got Jack Beck at receiver, Geno Smith at running quarterback. I stash Emmanuel Wilson because I think he'll be the second running back in Green Bay. And I do have Damian Pierce in case Mixon gets hurt. There was a question about that. So what y'all think? I've got some depth at the defensive positions as well. And I traded my dad. I got Gunnar Helm and Elijah Arroyo at tight end. Okay. So I know it's a lot of stuff. What you think? You can be honest and tell me you don't like it. I know I'm all in for this year, but I think it's got a solid chance to be a contender this year at least.
How big's the league?
12 teams.
12.
We don't do snake. It's 1 through 12.
Allen. You said it was Josh Allen?
Josh Allen at quarterback. Running back, I got
Barkley,
Saquon.
Jonathan Taylor, BTJ.
Scary Terry.
McLaurin. Who's your starting tight end? You didn't mention a starting tight end.
Hawkins.
Or do you not have a tight end? Oh, Hawkinson. And then DJ Moore's your flex with Aaron Jones as the fill-in.
Yeah, or Golden, or Jack Beck at receiver, or Stevenson if he's a touchdown machine. Those are my best options. So I'm a little thin, but I do have Damian.
Say you're very dependent on one of those players being very good, whether that's Golden or Aaron Jones. Of course, though, IDP scoring always makes it wild too. So like, depending how your IDP scoring is and how you can do there, you can kind of make up for a little of a lack on the flex. But like the top half of your roster can also make up for a lack of a flex because you've probably got 60 points in just the running back, the three players at the top, and Taylor, Barkley, and Jonathan Taylor every week almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Plus
like
Josh Allen.
That's what I mean. And then BTJ is going to be probably 15 at the low end a week, you know.
I'm relying on one rookie for my second flex spot, but Jones, if he's anything
but
like
Matthew Golden's in a good spot. So like you got one of the better rookies to at least have a shot at receiver room.
I drafted him 13th
Speaking
overall.
of being in the hospital at the moment, like that receiver room can't stay healthy at the moment. And they're desperate for somebody to be like the alpha. And I think Matthew Golden's going to be who they wanted Christian Watson to be. So hopefully that's a good sign.
I sure hope so. I took some swings on some young guys. Like I got
you just got to grow a couple inches, right?
Exactly. I also have Savion
It's not
Williams.
as tall, but
I stashed Savion Williams as well, and I stashed a couple of defensive back rookies. I got Makuba, and I picked up Jahad Campbell at linebacker too, and I still have Trayvon Walker. So I've got depth on defense. Boswell, Gunnar Helm, and Arroyo are decent. They could be decent tight ends. I've got Jonnu Smith as well. So I'm really just I gotta have no major injuries at running back or receiver. It's top heavy. However, if the primary guys stay healthy,
like Woody Marks, Deontay Thornton, Kendra Lambert-Smith out there.
My dad just traded freaking for Thornton, man. I really liked him. He's straight line speed. My dad traded. Dad, you're in the comments. What'd you trade Thornton for? It was a bunch of flyers. He gave up 4 because our roster. We do this thing. I don't know if you do it, Jeremy, but we expand from 28 to 38, and then in a week you got to cut it down 9 guys. So I've got like 5 tight ends. So I'll probably have to cut 1 or 2 of them. Dad, what did you give up for Thornton? And what were the other guys, Jeremy? Sorry, I missed
Kendra Lambert-Smith, Woody Marks. Woody Marks is a good one.
I don't think they're available. I'm going to double check.
I feel like Marks is getting some hype. He probably was drafted if it's 6 rounds, but Lambert-Smith may not have been, but he had the hype from the Hall of Fame game, so he may have been picked up at some point already. But
Marks is gone, which I kind of figured he would be. Let me see if Lambert-Smith. I looked like a week ago. Let me see. Because I'm always looking for flyers.
Yeah, Jalen Lane, maybe.
Yeah, Lambert-Smith's gone. That's the problem.
I'm sure with 6 rounds, 12 teams, like you probably don't have much left on the waiver wire.
No, and
you'd be surprised with IDP though, because sometimes if you go 6 rounds with IDP, people stock up on IDP as well.
Well, also you can in this one, when those 10 guys get cut, I'm going to peruse the waiver wire in a week because there might be a decent guy or two that somebody just had to cut.
Yeah.
Because we've got a taxi squad of 3 guys. So I think your full roster, even if you had your IR, you could have 33 total. But there still could be some players that get cut. Like there's a linebacker. I just don't need that. I need a running back or a receiver for depth. But yeah, I'm hoping if Golden just can be decent. Like he's actually projected, it's PPR. He's projected above Aaron Jones week 1 right now, but that's sleeper projections. So
could also try the Brian Robinson dismantling.
That's an interesting.
Might be a cheap player to add. He'll probably have a role somewhere.
I wish
it'd be Dallas, but I don't know if they're going to do that interdivision.
Oh, Dallas should. That'd be entertaining. So my dad did the opposite. I'm going to run through his quick. He wants to know what you guys think. He went the rookie route. He had like 13 picks in this draft. He traded up from 8 to 5, and he had the 1 pick overall. He took Ashton Jeanty. I told Justin about this. He took Travion Henderson at 5. He took Travis Hunter at 2, and he got Kinshawn Judkins at 10. Here's his squad. He's got Drake May at quarterback, Ashton Jeanty, Travion Henderson, Marvin Harrison Jr. He did this last year too, but he piled up more picks this year. Like he sold a lot of his players and landed picks. Marvin Harrison Jr., Travis Hunter, Kyle Pitts. He's got Roma Dunze and Luther Burden. His other flex spot is Kelvin Ridley. He's got Tyler Loop at kicker. What's his tight end? Oh, Kyle Pitts at tight end. He's got that rookie Loop from Baltimore. He even has a rookie kicker. Jared Verse at defensive line. Alakin, the Jacksonville guy. And Devin Witherspoon. It's funny that he put him in the starting lineup. I traded him. He has Anthony Richardson on his bench. Here's some of his bench guys. He's got Judkins, Tootin, Taj Brooks, and Trey Benson at running back. He's got Torrey Horton. I know you know about him. Jeremy, I was reading your article on him today. He's got Dante Thornton and Hunter Henry at tight end. And just for a couple more young guys, he picked up Abdul Carter as well in this draft. And he's got Edger and Cooper from the Packers. Oh, and Kyle Williams, the rookie from New England, just for the listeners, and Jalen Milroe. So I'm like the opposite. I'm in for this year. My dad was like, let's get young guys at every position. It's the other way to build it. What do y'all think?
That's sustainable right there.
I know.
Sustainable.
I'm hoping. I don't think mine's sustainable. It might win a championship this year, maybe though.
Yeah, I think you're in it for the bumpy road. He has a bumpy road for him for a little bit, but there's a lot of names that I like. Mm-hmm. I think he really set up the running back room well. Oh, Ridley's a good sleeper. Mason Taylor's a really good sleeper. Hunter Henry, very good tight end, paired with Drake May as well. Like there's a lot of things to like in the roster. I'd say it's probably not going to happen this year. Potentially not even next year.
No, it'll happen. If you keep on doing what you're doing and swiping players for picks, it'll happen really soon. It won't happen this year, but I think you'll probably be surprised. You'll probably be fighting for a playoff spot, but you might not make it in the playoffs.
Depends if Harrison takes a step. If Harrison or Dunze take the step paired with Ridley, that's a good 3. The running backs are going to eat, and Henderson and Jeanty. May should be solid. Like there's some solid players. He's got enough tight ends. Pitts will be decent. Henry might be borderline tight end 1. Like there's potential. It could be a playoff team. But
and then Drake May could take a nice step forward too.
Sorry, I have no bladder. I have to go pee 2 times a show. I'm not even 40, and I have to go to the bathroom every 2 seconds. I drink one of these.
It's a very risky roster.
I agree. I think mine's risky now, but I got a little bit of youth I like. I think Jack Beck may have potential in Las Vegas. I really like the golden pick. But for my dad, it really comes down to if he can have a receiver pan out. I like his running backs more than his receivers. And he needs Drake May to be way better than he was last year, which there's a chance.
Tom, I'd throw this out your way. Try and package Kyle Pitts with another young guy and get somebody like a little bit more sustainable. Like see if you can get the Tyler Warren guy, or if you can get maybe like a Tucker Kraft, somebody who's gotta step up in their offense. Get somebody like that on your team to fill that tight end void, And, I honestly, listen, I do a lot of my rosters the exact same way, and you suffer for about a year or two. But then once you come out of that little suffrage point, you are set for like the next 5. So keep going, Tom. Keep going.
Whereas I'll have a 30-year-old Saquon in a couple of years, and if I don't win a ring, it's going to hurt. But, I'd still have Josh Allen.
If this makes you feel more terrible about yourself, Isaac, I'm actually writing up for the Substack a Dynasty players to get rid of at this point, and 2 of the players are on your roster. So
which ones?
Barkley and DJ Moore. So
you know what's funny is okay. My dad's going to listen to this and he's going to send me a trade offer in a second. I'm considering selling on DJ Moore. I don't want to sell on Saquon yet because I need him for this season, and I think he's not going to have 2,000. He's not going to have 2,000 yards. If he does, I'd be absolutely shocked. But if he has 1,500 yards or 1,400, that would be a drop off. And I think behind that Philly O-line, I think there's a good chance that he does stay healthy because it's the best offensive line in football. But I agree with you. I think typically when you look at running backs after a 2,000-yard season, even Barry Sanders, Jamal Lewis, especially him, but any guy that had 2,000 yards, there's usually a precipitous drop off the season after. And a lot of teams after they win the Super Bowl, injuries tend to happen. Some nagging crap happens to somebody. And Saquon is, I don't believe in this bull crap, but he was on the Madden cover. So I understand it. I would have to get the right offer for him. And I have the flipping jersey too, so that hurts.
It comes from me of the aspect of being a year early than a year late. I still think he's going to be fine in 2025. But now, much like you said, in 2026, when you're ready to start that season, he's going to be almost 30. He will potentially, now you're stuck with him. You're riding him. You're like Derrick Henry at this point. Like if you roster Derrick Henry, you're not trading Derrick Henry because your trade offers in Dynasty, you're not getting his return value. So why are you going to trade him? Like, yes, I get in a rebuild, but like you're going to give him up for what, a second? Like that's only anybody's a logical player is probably going to pay. You know what I mean? Unless they're a true contender and they're like, I hate 2026. I'll give up a first at the end of it and like just make sure I win the championship. Sure. But like you're not giving up much for Derrick Henry. You're not giving much up for Alvin Kamara right now. These guys that are post 29 that are still productive players, like you're just not going to get it at the running back position. So at least with Barkley, he revitalized that value. You can probably sell much of what you just said to that manager, and most of those managers will believe it. The good offensive line, he just had 2,000 yards, even a fall off, he's still a top 12 running back. Like you can easily sell it to get solid value, and like this would be the year with the rookie running back class. So like, I'm a little in on it.
If my team doesn't hit and isn't a contender, like and isn't for whatever reason, like a couple major injuries happen, that would be my move. I would sell on him for, I don't know which running back, but if he was still having a stellar season, and I'd be lucky to make a wild card, like not your guy. I don't think Allen's going to get hurt, but if like 3 or 4 other dudes on my roster went out for like 6 weeks of the season and it just clearly wasn't going to happen, that would be my move. That's my backup move. Or, if a rookie's just popping off and I'm like, what if I buy on this guy right now while Saquon's value is still high? It is something, even with this jersey, I just wouldn't tell my wife, she's an Eagles fan, but I would try to do it. Any other, I have a lot of other questions if you guys got about 20 more minutes, but any other moves you think I should make this season? Well, I've got a couple of Dynasty pros here, fantasy pros. Justin, would you do anything else? Do you think I should try to, here's the problem. I don't have a lot of draft capital. I only have a 4th rounder next year. I have most of my 27 picks ish. I have a first and like 2 fourths, a 5th, and my first. And then I have all my picks for 2028. I give up a 6th rounder, but I have the first 5. So I have most of my draft capital in 28. I have nothing next year and a majority of it in 27.
I don't.
That's
like
what
your roster can get you
sustained for 2 years. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And 2026 class is like meh. So
that's what I'm hearing. That's why I sold on it. So, Justin, what do you think?
It's tough to be at this point and make a decision. You're going to start rebuilding, so it's better just to play it out.
Exactly.
And if you win a title, like you have a roster right now where even if you have one guy go down, you've got a sub for him. So, you should just roll with what you got, and I'll tell you, you probably have a team that could at least be 1, 2, or 3 in the league. So that means you can win a championship. So go win a championship and then decide if you want to rebuild afterwards,
I'm gonna win that first. I'm gonna win that first title because my dad's like, people are joking he's gonna be waiting 5 years. I'm just gonna try to win now and then deal with the problems later. We got a fantasy question. Should he feel confident about his running backs being Chase Brown, Marion Hampton, and the rookie? I think he means Caleb Johnson. That's very interesting. Is that a redraft league? That's the same guy from earlier. I'm betting. Yeah. He did a little 8-money man league with some friends. His squad looks like this: Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Marion Hampton, and Caleb Johnson. JJ McCarthy. Or no. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Trey McBride. Ooh, that's a pretty freaking good team. Running backs, he needs Hampton to hit, but I like the receivers and the quarterback.
So the struggle with 8-man leagues is all the teams look like this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just literally, I'm working on a mock draft article. Yeah, I'm literally working on a mock draft article for FTN right now. So that's coming in the coming week. But the issue is that I like the roster. I think it's a good roster. Chase Brown, good value. O'Marion Hampton. The worry I have with O'Marion Hampton is running backs and college players tend to tail off at the back half of the season. Season at the NFL is significantly longer. So if Najee misses the first half of the season, there's a good chance that Najee's more of a factor in the back half of the season. That's my only concern with O'Marion Hampton. But if he can sustain the season, he's probably going to be solid. But Caleb Johnson, a little bit more worried. So, I'd be worried about your back half of that. But I think Chase Brown's fine. I think Josh Allen's great. JJ and CeeDee Lamb's going to be nasty. And Trey McBride's going to be a target hog again. So, I think it's a solid team. I think there's a good chance you'll be definitely deeper into the playoff seeding. And then as long as the cookie crumbles the right way in the playoffs, there's a good shot at it. So,
any questions about the Stanley being out for the year? And I know they moved alt, but that still wasn't what they wanted to do. Do you think it's going to severely affect their offensive line in LA, or do you think they'll be okay?
It's going to affect it, but I think they'll be all right. It's a good unit to begin with. I think they'll be okay.
Did they move? I think you'll be okay. Did they move Alt over to the left tackle for that one, or are they going with somebody else?
Let me see their. Hold on. Let me look at their.
Because they got Joe Alt over there, then I'm probably fine with it. But
that's what I think they're doing. Let me look. It's preseason. You never know. Yeah. They got Alt at left tackle, and they got Pipkins the third, Trey Pipkins the third at right tackle. They got Becton at right guard.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with
that. He'll just run a lot to the left.
Yeah. That's it. Got another one. He thinks Stevenson and Henderson will coexist if Stevenson doesn't fumble the ball 8,000 times. He says he was being nice to me.
Was good last year.
He thinks he has the greatest 8-man league roster ever assembled. He needs the running backs to hit, but I like it. Okay, we got another one.
That's all that matters, though. As long as you think it, we're good.
Exactly. That's why I like my team. I know the future is a little scary in 3 years, but I like it right now. Gibbs, Rice, McBride, or Bowers, Henderson, London. Which side of this trade would you guys prefer to receive? Dynasty, full PPR, no tight end premium. That's like my league. For some context. So would you rather get Gibbs, Rashee Rice, and McBride, or would you rather get Brock Bowers, Travion Henderson, and Drake London? That's tough. I gotta think about
Gibbs.
I know, man. I was thinking Gibbs initially, but
I think I'll take the Bowers, Henderson, London side.
Same because of the Rice uncertainty. But if it's just this one season and it's a dynasty league.
Yeah, but then you think Travion Henderson's going to take over too.
Yeah.
So I would probably
go. Henderson's kind of like Gibbs in that regard, where he's kind of got that multi-talented facet about him.
As good as he looks, though, we've seen in preseason. Gibbs, we've already seen be electric, and I don't even know if we've seen the guy's ceiling yet.
No,
that's tough. That's tough, man.
I will take the Bowers Henderson.
That's a good question. That's actually a really tough one. I like both.
I will say this. I'll probably take the Bowers Henderson London side on the basis of Bowers. I know it's not tight end premium, but still you get an advantage having Bowers. So my concern with McBride's not like a unicorn tight end. Like he's a volume tight end. And if Harrison, say, takes a step, maybe they add another receiver at some point and don't rely on just these two. Like, you could see McBride and Dynasty falling off in a year or two, where like Bowers is that unicorn that's going to be fed for years to come, more of that Kelsey mold. Like McBride feels a little like, like the Mark Andrews, like kind of like Andrews, or like trying to think of like a Hawkinson, you know what I mean? Like, he's good. He's not bad, but like, he's not.
There are levels to
Bowers.
this.
He's not Bowers. He's not Kittle.
He's only the weapon if there's not significant weapons around him.
Correct. So like,
and it's Kyler Murray.
Yeah. So like, London and Rice feel like a wash at this point. Gibbs is definitely better than Henderson, but I think
I'm rolling with you guys.
Long term, I would take the upside of the Bowers, Henderson, London side. On the surface right now, Gibbs, Rice, McBride is definitely the better value, safer value. But I think the upside swing in Bowers, Henderson, and London could pay off in 2 years from now.
I'm with you
Henderson
because
takes over.
I like Gibbs a lot. It made me pause because of that. But I'm with you guys and also London is just starting to achieve his potential. If Penix is even just halfway decent, can get him the ball, then London. I mean, Rice has been consistently banged up, and now he's got all these legal issues. He might be the safer. He's going to be the safer player this year. It looks like, for sure. So the only way you're significantly winning on the first deal is with Gibbs over Henderson. But Bowers, I think, easily wins over McBride, like you guys said. And I think this season Rice is probably going to get suspended, and he's coming off injury. London beats Rice, so yeah, I'm going with you guys. Good stuff. Okay, how long do y'all have? Do you guys got about 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, I have no life at this point. It's 9:40.
My wife this is her one night out with friends. So literally
Mine's probably sleeping, so I'm good.
She actually might.
I just got some stuff to do after it, but it's only a few little things. So
I wouldn't be shocked if she took a nap at some point. Incredible takedown. Yeah, this is great stuff. You guys have both been doing awesome. Seriously. Justin, I'm really happy you came back, dude. And Jeremy, this has been fun. Okay, let's do this. I gotta just ask about my boy Matthew Golden really quick. I want to get both y'all's takes. Jeremy, you gave a full breakdown on him, so I kind of know your thoughts. I'm gonna come to you second on this one. Justin, what's the ceiling and the floor for not just this season, but where do you see Matthew Golden?
Ceiling and the floor. I think the ceiling is top 15, and I think the floor
this season or overall, like in his career.
Yeah, I know. I think this season top 15 is very, very possible because, like Jeremy said, like they've got nothing there. Like I'm really looking at Tucker Kraft as the guy to be their end zone guy, but how you going to get to the end zone is a whole nother question. And I think that's going to be Matthew Golden. So I think you look at it from the perspective of he's got that deep downfield threat to him. And what else can he do? Can he run the slot routes really well? Is he better than what Isaiah Bond was at Texas? So for me, it's top 36 as a floor. Mm-hmm. And I think top 15 is the ceiling. I don't think he can get the top 12, but I think he can definitely get the top 15.
I like it. Jeremy, I was reading your take on Matthew Golden today. I liked what you said about the elusivity. That was something that Luther Burden had that Golden does not. However, the one thing I saw on tape that was impressive to me is what's really funny. I didn't watch the Houston game yet. I had an awesome Packer podcaster on. He told me to watch the Houston game, and I went and watched it after that, and I started to see what he was talking about. In general, I didn't see 4.29, but I saw a guy that last season getting separation and getting open consistently. I don't want to spoil your whole breakdown. I read the whole thing. What's your breakdown on Matthew Golden?
Yeah, I mean, I like Matthew Golden. I think you're still looking at a guy that's going to continue to get better. We kind of saw that at Texas as the season went on. Definitely a 4.2 guy in the combine. Might play a little slower, like you said. So when you're really looking at the 40 times, I'm a big predication of like they don't totally matter. If you can play, you can play. Because guys that run 4.2s look like they run 4.6s when they get a football in their hands. So that's a big part of the game. So play speed, you really wanted to use the 40 to confirm what you saw on tape. If you see a guy that you think looks a lot faster than other players, then he runs a 4.2, you're like, yeah, he's just faster than players. If you don't see that, it's the ones that you start to head scratch when you see he runs a 4.2, but then you see him on the field and you're like, he looks like he's just Devin Singletary. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
you're exactly kind of wondering, and more times than not, that's because they're overthinking stuff, and you don't want that. You'll start to see that. You hear it all the time, and some of the players, when you start to talk to them, beyond it, you even saw it a little bit in Hard Knocks this season, where Ray Davis is even talking about that, of like where you can, the first year you're really installing offenses, you're really learning a lot of things, you're learning the pro game and compared to the college football game. And once you get that comfortability, you play faster. That's just how it works. So Golden obviously transferring over to Texas, you could have seen a little bit of that, but I think there's room for improvement. I think he's a very athletic guy. I think in LaFleur's offense, it's going to mesh well. LaFleur will be able to scheme him open. He's not going to need to be an elite separator by any means. He has shown a little bit of that on tape. I think that he'll get better for sure. So I'm a little in on it. I didn't love the Texas tape. I thought it could go either direction. So I think you still have that opportunity. But I do think he's in a very good spot to go the other way, where he does have a productive NFL career. So I'm in on him. There were other players I still liked. Like, I preferred Ibuka. I preferred Ted McMillan. I preferred Travis Hunter. Like, I just think there's a wider variance of results that could happen with Matthew Golden, but the upside is probably just as equal as some of those other players. Again, though, you fall into the Packers, much of like my disdain for Tucker Kraft. Like, it's an offense that there's a lot of mouths to feed when healthy. Yes, you can argue they're not healthy right now, and they do struggle to kind of stay healthy, but you've got 3 to 4 quality receivers, and even their depth receivers. Like, we're talking about Dontavian Wicks, and people are like trading assets for Dontavian Wicks, like in Dynasty, and he's the 4th receiver. So like,
gets open.
Players, there are players, like there are players on that roster that are going to see targets and see touches. And I think Matthew Golden, though, offers a different take to that. Much of what they wanted Christian Watson to be, the explosive factor. Like, Dubes is not overly explosive. Jaden Reed's not overly explosive. Like, Matthew Golden gives you like the Gibbs or the Henderson vibes in the running back era of like, he just needs that one touch and it's going to go 60 yards for a touchdown. Like, and right there, 60, a reception in PPR, 60 yards and a touchdown. That's like 13-point swing right there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely.
So
those big plays can make a difference. Oh, absolutely.
An offense that throws a ton of big plays. So,
especially against bad teams. They were the Dallas Cowboys last year. They would blow up on the bad teams and score 30, 35, 40 with 50, 60-yard touchdowns consistently, even to Tucker Kraft. They were doing that to bad teams. And then they started actually doing decently against some of the better defenses just in the fourth quarter in garbage time, unfortunately. But I heard this take from, his name is Andy Herman. He does Pack a Day podcast. He came on the show in July, and he said, we've got a different ingredient. And I sort of agree. My only concern is Golden's the same size as every other receiver on our roster other than Christian Watson, who I don't know when we're going to see him this year, and our 3rd-round rookie, Savion Williams. Most of the other guys are about that 5'11", 6-foot range. That's Matthew Golden. I really like your breakdown. I like the one thing that I saw that I liked was the separation. I didn't see the elusivity. I saw decent route running. I didn't see his strength. He needs to bulk up a little bit. I think he's got a good chance to break through. It's just a weird offense because I don't think this is just me being a Packer guy, but I don't know what you guys thought. I watched a lot of Packers last year. I watched a lot of Cowboys. I didn't have Sunday ticket, but I went and watched games every week. And our offense had guys that were consistently getting open, and we had the most drops in the NFL last year. It was really frustrating. To me, if this guy can just step on the field, catch the ball, not drop it, I think he's got a leg up on some of the other guys if they're doing that same crap from last year. I think that's going to really buy in with the coach and with Jordan Love. But like you nailed it, Jeremy, there's a lot of mouths to feed. You've got Jaden Reed, Christian Watson when he comes back. You got Romeo Doubs. They drafted a 3rd-round rookie in Savion Williams. You still have Dontavian Wicks on the roster. Bo Melton switched to defensive back, but then you still have Tucker Kraft and now Luke Musgrave's healthy. So it's an offense that I think has potential to be a top 10 passing offense without having a top 25 receiver. It could be that same situation.
Yeah, it's much of like the Bills offense, the Chiefs offense. Like you don't really have a true target. Golden could become that if he stays on the field and kind of is the more available option. Really kind of that low end, like the Stephon Diggs kind of mold. Doesn't have the physicality Diggs did, but like you could see these 5'11" guys where they start to they can be perimeter receivers as long as they can develop into really good separators and learn how to attack the leverage, which Golden does pretty well. So I think they'll be all right. Like I said, there's just a wide variance to it. So that's what kind of threw me. Like to me, Amukabuka was just a better receiver overall. Like he didn't have the explosive play of what Golden gives you, but like technically sound wise, like Ibuka's better. I think Tet has a higher upside just based on size, and Travis Hunter like is just Travis Hunter. Like he's a very good receiver. Like he doesn't have the technical side of the game down, but where Hunter's going to succeed is the ad lib stuff, which you may see a lot of in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence. So like,
I also like Jaden Higgins a lot too. I think he's got.
Like
you didn't? Yeah. I liked what I saw on tape. He looked like Tet, just a little bit quicker. But we'll find out. No. I don't know.
Do you like Noel? Do you like Noel better than Higgins?
I like Noel. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I was taking Noel over Higgins all day.
Interesting. But all right.
I think Higgins reminds me a lot of. I think they fell into a little bit of the trap of the Jonathan Mingos. People get allured with these guys that are kind of like big and kind of fast. Higgins reminded me a little bit that the technicalities weren't there in his game. You saw him move you saw him play a lot of slot in his final year. You saw the same thing with Mingo. Like these bigger receivers that had to move to the slot at the college level. In my opinion, it's kind of a concerning trend. It usually means they can't separate on the perimeter against college players because you've already got an advantage with height. And usually in the slot that you're putting people that can't really separate on like technicalities more so because you're getting more off coverage, or players that work well against leverage in separation. You're getting them in the slot to get off corners more times than not. So like,
that's a good take.
That's the way that I look at it. It's not always true. Like, you still can get press coverage in the slot, and you still see
absolutely.
JSN or other guy, Ibuka, like that are technicians also succeed in this slot.
That's where
it's not like a true set thing. But when you watch it, when you're watching the game and you see it, like you can tell why they moved him there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Mingo, I mean,
you could see like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you could see that, okay, they moved him here because he's not really separating. And they're trying to get the off coverage. They're moving him in motion. Like they're trying to create space for him, which at the college level isn't great for a guy. You know what I mean? Like he was productive. He has some good traits. I think he's further away than people think.
That was my concern with Tet, was the separation, but it wasn't the slot argument. I was wondering if he had the quickness to succeed at the NFL level. He was extremely productive in college. That was my one big question about Tet. But I mean, in Carolina, there's.
You didn't see the issue will come is like how coaches make them play. So like Tet, you didn't see technical routes at Arizona.
True story.
They leaned on the athleticism. They used the crossers. They used what he did well and generated space for him and got him the football and let him work.
Yeah.
If Carolina does that, they'll be all right in year one. If they try to ask him to go out there and be a route technician, he may have some hiccups in his game. But I do think he can develop that. You could see he has the flexibility. He has the movement to develop it as a bigger receiver. It's kind of the Drake London argument. Like London was similar category of like, London was a little bit better of a route runner coming out of USC, but like,
he had no quarterback to throw
kind
the
of
ball.
Like, yeah, it was like kind of it was kind of like a similarity of like, I could see their career arcs being very similar. Like he might be disappointed in year one. I think Tet's going to get peppered, and I think Tet might be better than what London was in year one. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the arc that he takes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect it, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it goes.
Either.
Yeah, Tet wasn't as physical as I thought he would be for his size. He kind of reminded me of what Marvin Harrison was last year, where like he was very physical in college, and then it just did not show up on the NFL side of it. Like Marvin Harrison was getting manhandled in the red zone, which you're like, dude, you're like 6'4". Why are you getting manhandled in the red zone by some of these smaller corners? Then you see the same thing with Tet as he loses interest in games, which is one of the things that was a big red flag. Is a lot of people thought that he kind of got lackadaisical in games if he wasn't getting the ball. Now he is incredibly physically talented, 100%. But I wonder if going to a Carolina where there's really just not a lot of emphasis on a winning culture, not a lot of emphasis on really a culture anyways, if that's going to do him any good, or he's going to maybe be one of those guys kind of, I don't want to say like DK Metcalf, because DK Metcalf succeeded, but like somebody who just rests on their laurels, you know what I mean? Doesn't really break out from just being a physical talent.
Good take. I like both of them a lot, honestly. We got a couple comments, and then I wanted to get any sleepers that you guys had, and then we'll probably wrap in a little bit. My school starts super early, unfortunately. Okay, 10-man, 10-team league, full PPR. Who should I draft with my seventh pick? Full PPR?
I'm guessing it's one quarterback, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Is it SF? Superflex?
Ooh, that's a good question. If he comes back in the comments and says, but let's go with, because it was only a few minutes ago. I was still here.
I would assume it's one quarterback, unless they say Superflex. I would assume it's one quarterback.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go with, if he's there, I really like. I like Nakua this year, but if BTJ was there, there's some risk there with the Travis Hunter. I think the safest pick would be Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I agree. I think he'll fall there. Your other option would be maybe Neighbors.
I like.
He'll probably be in that territory.
If he falls, he's 3.
I think those two tend to be somewhere. There's 3 kind of tend from what I've seen, at least in some of the mocks and stuff like that.
I could see
he kind of falls in that territory, or some of the later drafts I've been doing, he kind of still falls in that territory. Neighbors, St. Brown. Genty, at that point too, you're looking at running backs. I wouldn't take Genty personally. No. I don't think
my dad has hyped him up so
much. What might be there would be like McCaffrey. Like I would take McCaffrey there.
Yeah, McCaffrey is about like 7 right now. Trying to think who 8 is, because I know.
Hold on,
sorry, I've been doing a lot of redrafts. So 9 right now is Nabbers, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is 10. If you're just going based off of it.
Yeah, I'm on Dynasty list. Hold on, my computer's bugging out. Dang it. I think I might I might have to be done. I did this with me and Justin the other night. It's frozen on me. Dang it, man. It's not. You guys can still see me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I can't even see it.
Frozen. You're frozen. We can hear you. I lied.
So it bugs out. This computer, what I've learned at about an hour and 20, it just bugs out. Okay, well, I can still hear you guys, and I'll just turn the computer off in a few minutes when we wrap. But before we wrap, can you guys give me a couple of, if there's comments, I'm sorry, guys, I can't see it. Give me a couple sleepers that you like. We could go redraft in Dynasty. If you want to do running back, quarterback, receiver, whatever position.
I will start by saying you can go to my Substack, Beyond the Chalk. Hey, you're back. We can see your video. I think it's moving. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Good.
But the not to plug selfishly my own Substack, but
no. Plug it.
I have 3 players at each position there, but I will give you some here while I sit here. I will say Jordan Love at quarterback. Quarterback 16 right now is absurd. So that would be one in redraft for there. Running back, I am in on, we'll say Tank Bigsby. I think he's going to be a good return on where he's getting drafted.
Okay.
And then wide receivers, Christian Kirk. For the Texans, probably would be one of my go-tos there, or Keon Coleman. And then tight ends, we'll go with Brenton Strange.
I like Saquon at 7, by the way, now that I can actually, my computer's not frozen and I can look at it. If Saquon's available at 7, I like him as well. I'm concerned about CMC this year, but I like your Jordan Love, and I like the Bigsby. That's slick, because if ETN continues to fade, they may have to lean on the run heavily there. Even with the receivers, it's going to come down to Lawrence. Justin, who are some sleepers you got?
Yeah, so I'll just do one of each. Big one is Dak this year. I really like the bounce back for Dak. They've got him a bunch of weapons. The defense is even worse than it was before without Micah Parsons, so you're going to need to score a lot of points. Mm-hmm. For my running back, you know what? I'm big on Omarion Hampton. I think that he has what it takes, and I don't know if Captain Najee is going to be around. We still haven't seen him on the field, and I mean, no offense, dude blew out his eye. I don't know if we'll ever see him on the field again. Hope you get better. Hope it's nothing big. Hope we do, but it just doesn't seem like a good situation right now. Wide receiver wise, I'm gonna say Slick Ricky Pearsall. All of camp 49ers indications right now is that Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall are lighting things up. So no Jawan Jennings, no Brandon Ayuk. Ricky Pearsall means no problem. And then for my tight end, I actually, I was going to say Tyler Warren, but that seems like too much of a gimme pick. So I'm just going to go with Jeremy's Dalton Kincaid. I'm not a huge fan of the receiver core in Buffalo because it just seems like too many guys that either like to do the same thing or just have been proven to be ineffective in the red zone where you need to score your touchdowns in the past. So why not go with Dalton Kincaid? I think that, he's definitely got some making up to do from the past couple seasons, but the fact that he was getting utilized heavily into last season's playoffs, I don't think the drop is going to affect him at all. I think that this is just a team that's going to keep on going back to him. If they wanted to, they could have gotten another tight end easily in this draft to make up for it. I know they drafted Jackson Haas, but we're not considering him a threat. So I think we're going to still see a lot of Dalton Kincaid this year.
My dad had a good
value.
I like it. My dad had a quick one for us, but I'm going to give you guys mine. I'm going to throw a shocker in here. I think it's CJ Stroud. I'm just looking at Fantasy Pros just because I got a Fantasy Pros guy here. But CJ Stroud at 19. I know that they messed up with the O-line, but they went and drafted Noel and Higgins. They still have Nico Collins, and I think that people are buying really low on CJ Stroud. I know he had a down season last year, but to be the 19th QB, if he finishes around there, I'm going to be a little surprised. I think he has a good chance to outdraft his value. I agree with Jeremy and Jordan Love, too. I think he has a serious chance to way exceed 17, especially because people are forgetting he's not going to be injured. I mean, yes, his thumb, but he doesn't have a groin injury like he did last year. If he can stay healthy, he used his legs his first season starting, add that mobility back in for 250, 300 rushing yards, and his value goes up significantly. So that's my QB is Stroud, but I like the Love pick as well, not just because of the Packers. At running back, I do like Omarion Hampton a lot. I think Trevion Henderson's going to steal the job in New England, and I think that him at 20, if he steals it from Ramondre Stevenson, who I have, so I'm talking bad about my guy, but he was benched late last season. If they just run with Henderson, I think the talent's there. I think it's immense. I really like this guy. I think he's got a serious chance. He's 20th running back on Fantasy Pros. I think he can end up in the 12 to 13 range. Another guy I like is James Cook is at 16th, and I know he might regress TD-wise, but they're going to lean on the run. So I think James Cook has a chance to finish top 10. Not just talking to Jeremy, I promise. Receivers, really quick, because my dad wants some deep sleepers, and then we got a couple more quick comments. Receiver, there's a few guys I like here. I think Jameson Williams has a chance to exceed 30th if I'm going a deep sleeper. Another guy I really like this year, though, is now with the injuries, I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be pretty awesome. He's still, where is he at? 44th. With no Jalen McMillan for 4 games and Chris Godwin injured, the only thing standing in your way is Mike Evans, who I still think is going to be good. I would go draft Emeka Egbuka thinking that he might be a flex player receiver 3 right now. He's at 44. I think he can exceed that value. And then at tight end, I like the guy I drafted Arroyo, but Somebody I think that you could buy low on is Tucker Kraft and Tyler Warren at 11. Daniel Jones is a more competent quarterback than Richardson, and the talent is there for Warren. I think he has a chance to be a top 6, 7 tight end this year. The last couple of years, it was a rookie tight end who finished first overall. It won't be again, but I think Tyler Warren has a good shot. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I don't really like Kraft or Warren too much at their value.
No.
But, Warren, I get the case for Warren. I do. I still think Daniel Jones is just bad. So,
no, I know. I'm not.
I will say this, though. Daniel Jones.
I agree.
Daniel Jones throws a lot to his first read. So if they're going to scheme the throw to Tyler Warren, he will get the target. The question is if he hits the target, will be the next question. But yeah, I like a lot of those players that you mentioned, for sure.
I agree with you. That's my only concern is the quarterback situation in Indy. They got to figure it out because Daniel Jones sucks. But at least, I mean, he's a little bit more competent than Richardson. He's concerned about Joe Mixon and Tony Pollard. What do you guys think?
I would be.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Mixon might be a late season depth because he's probably not playing for the beginning half. Maybe he gets in. I think Pollard, you'll be okay. He's going to be mediocre, but enough to put some points on the board. And that offense might be a little better, so he might score some more touchdowns. He's a red zone guy instead of Spears, so even when Spears is healthy, so I think it'll be okay.
And then we're going to hit this one. I'm going to use the restroom really quick. Whoever wants to go first. 2 deep sleepers. I'll give mine in a second. I'll be right back. Justin or Jeremy, whoever wants to go first.
I don't know. Who's going to be undrafted. I don't know. Undrafted 6 rounds. That's late.
Is that anybody after round 6?
I think they mean undrafted in rookie drafts. That's would be my guess. That's deep.
That is pretty deep.
I'm assuming it's the league he's talking about, which would be 1 quarterback. I will say, go ahead if you got somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I don't have somebody outside of top 6 rounds for a rookie draft. I don't know if that's what the question is, but if you're looking for sleepers in rookie drafts, I would say Jalen Noel is a great sleeper. He's currently buried right now, but I don't think it's going to be very long. Christian Kirk has a long history of injuries. Jaden Higgins was not the guy coming out of Iowa State. And Jalen Noel is a space eater, dude. I call these guys space eaters. They are literally just yak artists. You get them the ball and they can make something happen with it. Isaac, maybe you can elaborate on this. Is there another comment on there that clarifies whether it's a rookie that we want to hear from in these deep sleepers, or if it's just anybody after the 6th round?
No, I think he means rookies. I know my dad well enough. I'm pretty sure he means rookies. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, Dynasty. Yeah, I'm sure he means rookies. I mean, I can
okay. I would say another one.
Yeah, he means rookie. That's what he's talking about.
I would say another one is Jordan Watkins. Jordan Watkins, Ole Miss. He's with the 49ers. He's really been lighting it up in camp, and he can really do everything. He's another one of those guys like Noel who's got just yak yards like crazy. I think last year at one point he had 5 touchdowns against Arkansas. Just went absolute ham sandwich against them. Was starting to light up with the ones. He's got an injury right now, but it's not as severe as Brandon Ayuk's. And I don't know what to tell you about Juwan Jennings because even the reporters don't know what to tell you about Juwan Jennings. So he's definitely somebody to stash for a little bit later. And I would say you probably got the one guy I was thinking of, Thornton. Thornton was my big one. I like
the size and speed. If he can develop otherwise, he's a freakish athlete, man.
Oh yeah.
What was he like? What was his 40? He's what, 6'5", 429?
Tom, I got one more for you. Phil Maffa. Phil Maffa with Dallas.
Thank you.
Dallas is very uncertain at that position right now. Miles Sanders did not look amazing. I think he averaged like 2 yards per carry in the preseason game.
I actually have him off on my Dynasty. I stashed him.
Yeah, that's one guy that I know for sure does not get drafted enough, if ever. So Phil Maffa, he's a good one.
Justin, Jeremy, did you like Maffa? Do you think he has a chance in Dallas? Or do you think it'll be Blue?
You have a chance in Dallas. No, I don't think he does. I think it's Javonte Williams. I think Javonte Williams will be the guy. It's just going to be. They'll sub him off with Jaden Blue as a guy. But I don't think Maffa's going to be anything. He's nothing more than. I mean, he may have a chance, I guess, but like Javonte's good enough to hold him off. Like he held off Adric Estime, which is basically the same thing as Maffa, just Maffa's smaller. So like, I think it's going to be Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue with Sanders rolled in the giant mess of death. So I'm not in on Maffa. He's a good runner. He does things well. He's solid, but they're a dime a dozen that they make in Maffa. So I guess your only case to the love would be that the people in front of him are also just guys. So
garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I love Javonte coming out, but after the injury, it's just not been the same. So as far as your question does go, Tom, though, as I look through my leagues of undrafted, not that deep, but maybe Nick Nash, interesting player out of San Diego State, highly productive player, big lengthy guy in Atlanta. No surprise, they just draft big lengthy receivers. Maybe Eflin Chisholm, the guy that's tearing it up in New England, may not be added yet, but a lot of people have kind of been in on him. Raheem Sanders is interesting if he's out there for you guys for the Chargers, just because, like you mentioned with Najee, we don't know what's really going on there. Kamani Vidal doesn't seem like a good one. Other than that, like this is a 12-team league and there isn't much here. Arian Smith's interesting with the Jets because there's nobody behind Garrett Wilson at receiver potentially. Damian Martinez too, I like. Really like the tape from Damian Martinez, just a crappy landing spot in Seattle. So maybe he gets a chance somewhere in there with an injury. Other than that, I doubt there's really much left on your roster there. That
I got one more for you.
Intriguing.
Xavier Restrepo. Sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah, Restrepo.
I was going to about DK too in Tennessee. I'm curious how that's gonna pan out. I like Restrepo better though too between the two.
Yeah, that would probably be.
That's why I would lean Restrepo, but I'm curious if DK can get anything going. You stole a lot of mine. This is a higher one, but I'm curious if Savion Williams, because he's a different breed of player, if any of those other receivers like Dubs, if they actually trade him, or if there's a couple guys injured, if Savion, it's just such a crowded receiver room in Green Bay. So I'm concerned about that, but I really like what he can give you after the catch. And if you get him the ball in space, he looks like he's got the explosivity that the Packers offense, ironically, I think needs at the receiver position. I feel like they've got it with Josh Jacobs and you've got it with Tucker Kraft. I want to see if it's not Golden, I think it could be him. I like Ty Felton too. It's just another bad landing spot because even though you got Jordan Addison suspended, you got Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. So I just don't know if JJ McCarthy is going to be able to have enough volume because he didn't have it in college to sustain the best receiver in football, probably one of the best tight ends. And when Addison's back, he's become a really good number two. If Ty Felton has room there's other receivers in that room in Minnesota. So I don't know, that's a concern for me with him. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my dad's butt here, but I think it's not an undrafted guy, but the Jalen Milroe run is interesting. Do you guys foresee him not in 2025? Do you think in 2026 he gets a shot at the job in Seattle, or it just depends on how Darnold plays? What do you
think? Maybe. I don't have full faith in Darnold, so he might get a shot. But
that's my thought. I just think Darnold had one of the better coaches in the NFL and the best supporting cast that you could probably have. I mean, is there a better supporting cast when you factor in Aaron Jones, the running back, the receivers, and the tight end? It was the best situation with the coach in the NFL. That's not Seattle. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm not totally in on it. I mean, he could be decent. It's worth an upside swing stashed in Dynasty League, but
That's my thought with the running. You never know. Any quick thoughts on, and then we'll boogie in a few minutes. Any quick thoughts on, I'm going to give a couple of my guys here. What do you think of Gunnar Helm in Tennessee? Think he has a chance to push for the tight end 1 job over Chig?
I'm going to pass on that one.
I know. I'm not super. I just took him as a flyer. I think it's Chig too. I'm hoping
I'm wrong.
You guys think, like, we do all this research on these guys, and then sometimes we're wrong. So I didn't. It wasn't just the speed. I just wasn't totally sold, but he's been decent in the preseason. So worth a stash. We'll see. All right. Before we boogie in a minute, you guys have any final fantasy advice for people? Any players you've been itching to talk about? Justin? I feel like we hit a lot of guys in this episode.
Yeah, this was a great episode. No, I just go have fun with it. That's all I say. And all I'm going to say is set your cues, because you'll totally forget who you were planning on getting. And then next thing you know, you go, oh shit, he was down there. And then you got 12 picks until you're up, and he's 8 picks down and he's gone. So That's what I like to do. I like to set my cues. I love preparation when it comes to fantasy football. So that's how I do my stuff. But most importantly, just have fun, man. It's redraft season, and it's time to start making money from all your coworkers. Isn't that right, Jeremy? Yeah, those work leagues, baby.
I won one league last year.
I got asked to my non-fantasy work league first time. It's not even work league. It's just my one colleague and his friends, and then I won it. And I was surprised I got asked back, but they did ask me back. So, but either way.
Hey, they asked you back. There you go.
Much like Justin said, be prepared, set cues, use ADP as a weapon. Don't necessarily overdraft players, just overdraft them if you know you can get them. If you want to go a round earlier, sure, but don't take them 3-4 rounds earlier just because you like the guy. Stack them with better players, stuff like that. So nothing too crazy for me.
I like it. In my auction draft, I'm going to try to do what I did last year and score Jaden Daniels for like $8 and just hit a home run at QB after I think I had Saquon and another RB1 in that league. And then I always spend heavy on the first 3 guys. Yeah, we were not allowed in the league. They actually, this is a funny story. This was a blast. My buddy in Arizona, they have a league and they were like, is Isaac too much of an expert? Because I've done this for almost 30 years. I started when I was 10, so I've done it since 98. And they didn't let us in. I actually paid my buddy thinking they would let us in, and they decided to roll with somebody else. They would not let me and my dad. We were going to share a team. They wouldn't let us in the league. So it was kind of fun to have that reputation.
That's not fair.
I was like, that's bullshit. We were going to win because I won one league last year of my 3, and I finished 3rd place in the other one. So not bad. And I'm in a podcasters league this year. So
my friends and family league, they know that I do this. So they just tune in my stuff to see who they're going to steal from me. So now I intentionally tell them bad shit so they don't snipe me.
You're like, who I really love this year? You know who I really love? You should pick Derrick Henry as the number 1 running back in fantasy. That's who you should take. Number 1, he's going to finish above Jahmyr Gibbs. He's going to finish above Bijan Robinson. That's who you guys should take. And at quarterback, I think you guys should go with Jared Goff. He's going to be the number 1 quarterback this year. And they'll buy it. Counter intel, Dad. That's what it is.
I love it.
All right. Well, I want you guys, Jeremy, you've been giving shouts to it, man. Go blow up your stuff. I wish next time I'm going to get the link so I can put them in the chat. But give your stuff a shout out, man. What you got coming up?
Just
what you got?
Yeah, head on over to FTN Fantasy. You can use the promo Pope if you want to save 10% on their subscription. That's going to have rankings, redraft rankings, all that stuff's updated weekly. Weekly rankings there as well. You also don't just get my stuff. You get Tyler Roginski, who was the best ranker last year. You get Radcliffe, who's consistently near the top 10. So a good subscription to have. Trust me, it helps you. Even for seasoned guys, just get that second reassurance. Start sit stuff will be going on Sunday mornings. I have the Dynasty podcast at FTN. And then, like I said, head on over to my Twitter at PopesFFH. Substack is Beyond the Chalk. There's a link in the website section of Twitter that will take you right to it. Feel free to subscribe. It is free, so that's always fun, right?
I'm going to subscribe.
Some articles and stuff there. So,
yeah, man. Thank you. I saw your Substack today, but I was reading FTN stuff, and before Justin came on the other week, I was looking at I didn't know he had specific rankings on Fantasy Pros, which is pretty cool. So, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I think you got another follower in my dad too. He's excited. I'm sending him your stuff. Justin, what you got coming up for TSS? Yeah, what you got coming up, Justin?
So TSS Fantasy, catch us every Fridays and Sunday mornings. We do Sunday mornings like nobody else does Sunday mornings. It's entertaining stuff. But also I'll be joining Ben Troop for No Weddings in the Fall. We're going to talk college football, NFL football, and maybe every once in a while I can talk fantasy football, pardon me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got going. And yeah, watch my rankings as I fall into like the bottom 100. I am never very good at it.
Been there, done that, Justin. I was actually not solid. I've finished top 85 in draft rankings last year, so that's a good jump.
I was happy because 2 weeks I finished top 5 overall. It still didn't get me into like the top echelon of thing, but for 2 weeks I got a shout out on Fantasy Pros was the top 5 ranker. I was like,
there you go, man. That's gotta feel good. That's gotta feel really good.
It's honestly a tough competition when you're in it. Like it's not like you're talking like missing 3 people, and it's like the difference between like 50 and 150 in certain spots based on the scoring. So it's tough. It's tough. I applaud anybody who even has the gonads to try it. So
I was debating giving it a shot in the future, but I feel like it'll happen like where I'll miss 1 or 2 players. But I think I'm gonna have to start doing fantasy on the show like consistently because over 400 people are tuned in right now. And I want to say thank you because that's pretty solid numbers. So thank you guys. You too, if you were a fan of Quentin Jammer, I had him on the show last Friday. That was awesome. The 5th overall pick from the Chargers back in 2002. Had a coach from William and Mary. And coming up in September, I've got Blaine Bishop. He played defensive back for the Titans. He does ESPN radio. He'll be coming on September 19th. But we will be doing a fantasy special. I've got Dave Hartman and Scott Engel, who Dave Hartman does stuff for Pigskin Papers. Not this Friday, but the following, so the 29th. Right before my fantasy draft, I got Dave Hartman and Scott Engel. So Dave does the Pigskin Papers and Scott Engel does a Sirius XM fantasy show. So you guys would love that. You guys should tune in. It'll be an hour-long show, and then I'm just gonna, like Justin said, I'm gonna stream my auction draft live and give counter intel on the air. I'm gonna be like, hey, you know what I really like this year? Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna put him in the I'm going to put them up because I love putting up players in auction that I don't draft. And then that Smart. Saturday, yeah, you got to do it. You put up the guys you don't want, or occasionally I slide in a player I do like, but I'm okay with letting go at a high price. Strategy, And then that Saturday over Labor Day weekend, I'm going to be doing a Dynasty draft live. And then on Labor Day, I've got the guy from Green Bay Packer Nation coming on. So I've got a lot of shows Labor Day weekend. So Justin, Jeremy, my longest show in a while, but a blast. Thank you guys. Seriously, this was awesome. I'd love to have you both back on the season. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So I'll message you guys on Twitter. Okay.
Give me a shout. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Everybody watching, I appreciate you guys so much. I will see you a week from Friday. I'm out of town this weekend. See you guys soon. Thank you.